Magandang hapon, MPC. Welcome sa ating first Presidential Silent Drill Competition Press Conference. In line with this, we have Assistant Secretary Joseph Encabo of the Presidential Management Staff, Brigadier General Jose Ariel Niembra, AFP Commander, Presidential Security Group, Brigadier General Royland Orquilla, Assistant Deputy Chief of Staff for Reservist and Retiree Affairs, and Commander Julian Dolor, Technical Working Group Chairman. Magandang hapon, sirs. Sir, opening statement. General Niembra.
Sir, please do the honors.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Malacanang Press Corps for gracing this media activity, for the technical working group to impart the idea and its objectives for the upcoming first presidential silent drill competition, which will be held on December 20, 2019 at Quirino Grandstand. So, of course, with the support of PCOO and the other working agencies for this program, the PSG, the PMS, and of course, the Office of J9, and most especially the participating teams for this event. Good afternoon.
General Niembra, anything?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon po sa lahat. This first presidential silent drill competition actually was conceptualized by no less than the President himself. Siya po ang nagbigay ng guidance that the PSG and the PMS organize a silent drill competition para po i-showcase sa ating bayan yung capability and character ng ating mga ROTC cadets at yung ating mga service academies. So instead of holding this one inside camp, he ordered that it be done doon sa Quirino Grandstand para po ma-appreciate na ating mga kababayan na ito yung ating armed forces, ito yung ating mga kadete. Hopefully, this will awaken the interest of our people doon po sa ating ROTC program.
Maraming salamat, General Niembra. General Orquilla, anything?
Good afternoon po sa lahat. On the part of the Assistant Deputy Chief of Staff for Reservist and Retiree Affairs, it caters and supervised also the ROTC program. So this is a very welcome activity, and this will somehow inspire our youths. Makita nila na nagkakaroon ng competition among the service academies and different schools. They will be inspired by the program, and somehow ma-appreciate nila, and it will be a way to support the pending mandatory ROTC by the President.
Maraming salamat, sir. Last but not the least, Commander Dolor.
Good afternoon po sa lahat. On the part of the technical working group, we are tasked to make the first silent drill competition happen. So we are working on this since September of this year, and we were able to solicit the participation of 7 service academies: the Philippine Military Academy, the Philippine National Police Academy, the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific, the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy, the Philippine Army Officer Candidate School, the Philippine Navy Officer Candidate School, and the Philippine Air Force Candidate School. With the preparations and the support of all the stakeholders that we are having right now, I am very confident that the first silent drill competition will be successful. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, sir. First question from Mr. Henry Uri. Ruth, okay. Mike, please.
Sir, ang Pangulo po natin ay dadalo sa event na ito sa Quirino Grandstand on December 20?
Yes, sir. Mag-a-attend po ang ating presidente, but only on the awarding. Yung competition natin will start in the morning hanggang hapon, and the president will be there around 4 o'clock ng hapon for the awarding ceremony.
Opo. Magkano po yung prize at stake dito po sa competition na ito?
The prizes for the winners, for the champion, they will receive 300,000. The first runner-up will receive 200,000 and 100,000 for the third place. Then the rest of the non-winning teams or participants will receive 50,000 pesos respectively.
All right.
Thank you, Henry. MPC, Alexis.
Why the need to drum up support for the ROTC? Is there a waning interest in the ROTC given that there are 3 components of the NSTP?
Well, it is the advocacy of the president ever since when he assumed office. One of the programs that the president wants to revive is the ROTC program, because the president believes that it brings a nation building through a disciplined and well-trained cadets coming from the ROTC program. So that's how the president wants to see, and at the same time to gain interest from those students, the ROTC cadets as well, to support the armed forces of the Philippines. So it's a journey from ROTC towards the AFP program, and but on top of that, the most important thing is the value of nationalism and discipline of the ROTC students.
How would you describe the level of interest of students, of college students, or is it senior high school, of students towards ROTC as compared to the other components, yung LTS at saka yung CWTS?
Well, if you're going to compare it years ago, maybe 10 years ago, we have a very good, strong ROTC program. With the NSTP, it is very evident that the interest of the students have lessened. But now, with this program initiated by the Office of the President, the PSG and PMS are just conduits on this. No? We're implementors. That's why we also tap the Office of J9 in order to propel the interest again to the studentry in our country. That with the vision of the President that there is still time to revive and instill discipline among studentry, and through ROTC program is one way of gaining the interest again towards the youth and for nation building.
Is it accurate to say, baka alam po ni General or Kia, is it accurate to say that fewer students are choosing ROTC compared dun sa dalawang other components ng NSTP?
Before the implementation of Republic Act 9163, ROTC was mandatory to all college students, first year and second year. But with the implementation of NSTP law, nagkaroon ng choices yung mga students natin. But right now, we have at least 34,000 enrollees of ROTC. And going with the trend right now, maraming gustong mag-take ng ROTC. Among we made a survey among our RCDGs, no, our respective rescoms, major rescoms. And nakaka-interest, bumabalik yung interest ng mga estudyante natin na kukuha ng ROTC. maybe perhaps because of the program of our very own president, and with the trend right now that we are instilling the president himself, nagsabi niya yung we have to revive our love of country for our youths. No, so marami ngayon ang gustong bumalik mag-take ng ROTC.
Maraming salamat, Alexis. Follow-up, Nestor.
Sir, you mentioned earlier about the value of nationalism and discipline. That is why you are pushing for the revival of the mandatory ROTC. Is this not being instilled in the two other components of NSTP?
Of course, nandun naman yun. No? Still, na-impose at binibigyan pansin yung love of country on the other two components. But we all know that when it comes to ROTC, it involves a greater aspect of discipline. ROTC exemplified discipline and professionalism. That's why yung mga estudyante natin taking up ROTC are more prepared when it comes to pursuing their courses at if they want to continue with their military career. I am the best example of ROTC program. I am a graduate of ROTC. Tinapos ko yung from the very start, MS-11 up to MS-43, 42, and then 43 is provisionary. So, speaking with myself, taking up ROTC is making me a better prepared and responsible student.
Salamat, General. Nestor, follow-up? Nestor? Wala na. MPC? Raymond Bombo.
Kay General yung sa reserve sa J9. Sir, I'm also a product of ROTC. And meron na bang parang mga revision doon sa parang curriculum natin na dati, based on aking experience, na sometimes ay may butas for abuse, yung mentality of bullying sa mga troop commanders namin. May parang na-revise na ba doon?
Okay, thank you for that question kasi ito yung palaging binabato po sa ROTC program. Now, ang mukha po ngayon ng bagong ROTC is very different from previous. Dahil sa ngayon, nagkaroon na po tayo ng mga trainings dun sa mga prospect commandants, dun sa mga maghahawak ng mga ROTC units. And as early as last year, we have already conducted different forums and seminars, trainings for our ROTC commandants. This will be in anticipation sa pilot implementation na 100 schools. So, meron na po tayong mga mechanism. Actually, before, there was already a mechanism sa mga abuses. But right now, ang gagawin natin, ito yung program ng J9 to be more strict in implementation. Pinaalalahanan po namin and we already give directives to the respective rescoms at saka mga hawak ng mga ROTC to be really strict in implementation so that hindi na natin ma-experience yung mga na-experience natin noon.
Sir, last point doon sa kay General Commander Dolor. Sir, ano yung parang naging mechanism natin na and we came up with that 6 ba yung participants for the first drill? Kasi parang hindi ko narinig yung university.
7, sir. 7,
hindi ko narinig yung university namin sa Ilocos na magaling din.
So, the plan for this is, yung pong first presidential silent drill competition natin is, ito pong gaganapin natin sa December 20, will only be the first. After po nitong first silent drill competition natin, dadalhin po natin yung competition sa Mindanao, sa Visayas, and sa tingin ko, maybe baka itutuloy pa natin sa mga regional level. So, for the first presidential silent drill competitions, yung kinuha namin na magpa-participate ay yung mga service academies and the OCS kasi meron na silang ready na mga silent drill companies, and we are constrained na kailangan makapag-conduct tayo ng silent drill competition. But for our way ahead, ang magiging main participant ng mga silent drill competitions sa mga regions natin will be ROTC units.
Thank you, sir.
Can I add? Well, actually, this is how it started, ano? At first, we tried to consult with the ROTC schools kung kaya ba nilang mag-perform ng ROTC silent drill. And the feedback was, as of now, medyo alanganin sila because of time. You know, silent drill takes years to practice. So, to jumpstart the interest for the competition, kaya in-invite muna natin yung mga service academies. Number one purpose is to set the standard na ito dapat yung standard ng ating silent drill. Second purpose, of course, is sila na yung ready to present. That's why for this round, it's only the service academies muna, and for the second, third, and fourth round, it would be the ROTC schools na magpe-perform for Luzon leg, Visayas leg, and Mindanao leg.
Salamat, General Nembra. Alexis.
We all know that the decision on whether to revive the mandatory ROTC rests in the Congress. So how will this drill influence lawmakers to pass the measure?
Well, in this upcoming event, December 20, we also invited members of the House of Representatives and senators who are considered to be the pillars or influence of reviving the ROTC program. No? If it is an act of Congress needed. So we were glad that we received a very good feedback from them, and we expect them to be present during that competition. So once these legislators will have a direct experience, the outcome of this would really help them expedite the completion of the said bill. So we're looking forward to that, and we hope that all our efforts, our joint efforts here, coming from the service academies, from the technical working group, and the other government agencies, would somehow able to connect with them if they need some information or data gathering, details of how they can subdue the program immediately in completion of the bill. So we're willing naman to help those legislators.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. Tina.
Sir, good afternoon. Pang-attendance. Sir, how would you negate the possibility that activities like this will be seen by some groups as a prelude to a military state or so? Kasi we have some members of the cabinet coming from the military, and now we're engaging our citizenry to this kind of activities.
Well, first of all, ma'am, this is only the start, no? Militarization takes years to develop. So, ito si Presidente man, he has only 2 years more. So, it's impossible na magiging prelude ito for a militarization of the entire youth ng Pilipinas, no? And secondly, ang gusto natin i-develop po ito is readiness for any eventualities. Hindi lang po panggera. We know that the ROTC and the reserve force of the country is the number one force that we can rely on in case of natural and man-made disasters. So ito po ang isang pinaghahandaan natin, that we should be able to train our youth for them to be effective rescuers or first responders for natural and man-made disasters na pwedeng mangyari sa atin. not only for militarization.
Sir, another question. Sir, how would you compare the Philippines sa mga countries like Singapore and maybe Thailand na may mandatory training?
Well, to be frank po, medyo malayo tayo sa kanila. You know, in Korea, for example, we know South Korea, merong mandatory 3-year active service sa kanila. All of their able-bodied youth dumaan po sa active service 3 years, no? And then after that, they have the leeway or they have the choice to go on with military service or revert back to civilian status, and then they would be considered as reservists. So, in terms of reserve force development natin, medyo malayo tayo actually as compared to the other countries.
Thank you, Tina. MPC Joseph.
It's a related question. I'm just interested. Are our youth interested in becoming soldiers?
I think hindi naman lahat interesado na maging sundalo, no? Just like sa case ni General Orquea, siguro hindi lang naman siya yung nag-ROTC before, but siya naging sundalo, yung iba hindi. So it's definitely a choice for our students, no? But what we want to achieve is to instill into them yung sense of nationalism and the culture of discipline. Ito po yung gusto nating i-develop.
Are you finding it hard to probably recruit for our armed forces?
Ano bang findings natin, sir?
Meaning, do you have a lot of, kung kailangan natin mag-build up ng force, do you find it hard to recruit? That's why you have to maybe instill a little bit of interest in.
Yeah, on the part of the recruitment, right now we are on our programs. We have different programs on the recruitment of reservists. One source is ROTC graduates. Another source are our professionals. They join the reserve force through circulars, no. In fact, ang dami na nating reservists ngayon sa Congress at saka sa Senate. Marami rin tayong mga reservists sa local government units. The more we have reservists, the better. Because hindi naman ibig sabihin na nag-join sila ng reservist, immediately they will be going in the front line. No, it's not. Just like Gerald Nembra said, we are just preparing. Mas maganda na po yung prepared tayo kaysa wala tayong preparation. In some other countries, they make it mandatory. Conscription nga ang tawag doon. In some powerful countries. Conscription, yeah. So, dito sa atin, medyo demokrasya pa pagdating sa pag-join ng reservist. But whether the students will continue to become a military or not, it will be a gain for the government. Tayo po ang magbe-benefit at saka yung mga estudyante. Because they will be trained during their college days, matitrain sila, and if they want to continue, that will be a benefit for them. Pero kung hindi sila mag-continue, still, they will gain the training for their personal life.
Do we have enough soldiers as of now? That's why you need to probably warm them up to the idea of maybe doing service for the country. Di ba nandun tayo sa building up of forces, yung mga sinasabi ni Presidente na, kulang tayo sa ganun. So that's why you need the ROTC, tama ba? So parang kulang ba tayo ng mga sundalo, sir?
No, actually, we have enough soldiers, no? We have at least 145,000 coming from the different major service. But still, kailangan natin mag-build up din ng reserve force natin. In the total force concept na sinasabi natin, the 80% will be coming from the reserve. 20% lang yung active. So, ganun ang total force concept natin. Hindi kaya ng regular forces natin just in case. What I mean is, in terms of number and in terms of strength, we really need to build up our reserve force.
When you say hindi kaya, sir, what do you mean?
I mean is to really defend our country. My point there is we really need to develop also our reserve force.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, General Orquilla. Balik tayo kay Nestor.
Sir, just on the mandatory ROTC, we always mention about instilling nationalism and discipline on why we push for its revival among the youth. But the program has in fact led to violations of students' rights in the past. So what is now our assurance that it won't be again an avenue for continuing abuse and violence among our students?
Gaya po ng sinabi ko kanina, there are strict implementation of the system and processes. No? May safety nets po tayong dinagdag dito ngayon sa present program ng ROTC, if and when maging mandatory. For one is the professionalization of the commandants. No? Nagkaroon po tayo ng mga different forums and trainings for the commandants and at saka yung lahat ng mga personnel na hawak ng ROTC units. We have actually a system na working. We have a system on the part of the regular service. May sistema naman po tayo lahat naka-in place naman yon. At saka pagdating naman sa school, meron din silang system of disciplining o disciplinary functions doon sa schools. What we really need is to strictly implementation ang kailangan natin. Thank you.
Sir Kanayat. Sir, sa tanong po ninyo, actually, one factor that contributed to the downfall of the ROTC program before was the quality of cadres assigned to ROTC, the reserve commands, no? But we learned our lesson. This time around, we assure you that lahat ng mapupunta sa mga reserve commands are the best and the bravest of the AFP.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nestor. MPC, any more question? Wala na. Siguro bago tayo magtatapos, once again siguro General Nembra, do the honor, invite to natin yung public para sa competition, silent competition drill sa Friday.
Yes, sir. Unang-una, I would like to invite everyone. Open po ito, walang bayad. You can also watch on TV, but we will just announce kung anong station po later on. But sa Facebook ng PSG, meron tayong live streaming. Quirino Grandstand on December 20. Maghapon po ito, and then sa hapon, the President will attend the awarding ceremony for those who will emerge as winners ng ating competition.
Also, we would like to acknowledge the presence of PCOO Undersecretaries Rocky, Tobias Ignacio, and Yusek Mia Reyes. Maraming salamat, MPC. Maraming salamat sa ating guest. Balik tayo sa Radyo Pilipinas at PTV4.